Hello, this is Xbox Ahoy with episode 38 of my Modern Warfare 2 weapon guides. In this episode, we're covering the M16A4. The M16A4 is an assault rifle, which fires a 3-round burst. It is unlocked at level 40. The M16 rifle family was developed by American company ArmaLite, stemming from Eugene Stoner's design for a new generation battle rifle, the AR-10 in 7.62 caliber. By 1957, the US Army's needs had shifted, and they were now looking for a weapon in the lighter 5.56 by 45mm intermediate caliber. And thus the ArmaLite AR-15 was born, a smaller, lighter variant of the earlier AR-10. The first military variant of the AR-15, eventually known as the M16A1, first saw service in Vietnam, 1963. And despite some faltering first steps with regard to maintenance and reliability, the M16 rifle remains in service today, albeit through a number of revisions and improvements. The most recent version, the M16A4, dates to 1996, and is standard frontline issue for the US Marine Corps and some US Army units. In-game, the M16A4 is a relatively high damage weapon which fires a 3-round burst. The burst weapons tend to have the advantage of the first burst kills, but lose this advantage if multiple bursts are required, due to the firing delay in between each. Compared to the FAMAS, the M16A4 suffers at long range due to a quicker damage drop-off and higher recoil, but has better handling characteristics, including a faster reload and switch time. The usual array of attachments are available for the M16, and the underslung M203 is the first unlocked. The grenade launcher behaves as you'd expect, and is a popular choice, but I wouldn't recommend it as there are better options available for the M16. The underslung shotgun may actually be worth considering to bolster your close-range effectiveness. The burst-fire weapons can suffer a little in close quarters, so the shotgun can be of some use. Given that you can use a shotgun as a secondary weapon, however, you may want to use a more consistent and reliable weapon, in place of the inconsistent and slow-firing Master Key. The usual optics are available for the M16A4, with the first unlocked after 25 kills. The red dot sight is a solid choice, much like with the FAMAS. First shot accuracy is vital with the burst fire weapons, and the red dot will grant better precision thanks to an all-round view on target. In the case of the M16A4 though, you might want to consider the holographic sight instead, as this confers a unique advantage through the reduction of the recoil of the M16 to a level more manageable than that of the FAMAS. This greatly increases the weapon's effectiveness at long range, granting more reliable one-burst kills, and ensuring you preserve the prime advantage of the burst weapons. As an optic, it also helps your first shot accuracy, as with the red dot, by providing a clearer sight picture. The ACOG grants a zoom advantage and can aid in picking out targets at long range. However, the recoil is magnified, and since you lose the advantage conferred through the holographic sight, offers less reliable one-burst kills at range. All the same, as with the FAMAS, it's not a bad sight to use, and can aid in maps with poor lighting or visibility. All considered though, most often you'd be better off with the holographic. The thermal is similar. You'll find you'll get far fewer one-burst kills at range, as the recoil will mean the latter portion of the burst will find the air above your target's head. The non-optical attachments will mean you either have to get used to the iron sights, or replace your first perk with bling to maintain the advantage conferred by the holographic sight. The silencer would be a good combination with the holographic, and is a worthwhile attachment in its own right. A silenced weapon will often buy you more time to aim your shot, particularly if you spot an enemy before he spots you. So the silenced M16 is more forgiving in cases where your first burst doesn't kill. It does decrease your effective range, however, and in the case of the burst fire weapons this is generally a bad thing, as outside your effective range you'll need to ensure all 3 rounds hit your target to ensure a kill. Unsilenced, the 2-hit kill range extends out further, so you'll get more reliable one-burst kills where only 2 of the 3 shots connect. The heartbeat sensor behaves as you'd expect, but generally speaking you're better off with another choice, as you should be able to hear enemies without Ninja without any assistance. FMJ is a worthwhile attachment if you're comfortable with the iron sights. The high damage of the M16 coupled with the fast initial rate of fire of the burst weapons means that thin cover is no defense against the M16 with FMJ. The holographic sight paired with FMJ is another strong candidate with bling, making for quite the deadly combination in maps with longer sightlines and sheet metal buildings such as Trailer Park or Quarry. Extended mags gives you a 45 round magazine instead of the standard 30, but for a burst fire weapon it's not a large benefit. Given that the reload is swift, it's not something I'd consider using with the M16. Overall, for a single attachment, the holographic sight is the only really logical choice, as the recoil reduction is quite a strong advantage. It's also viable to pair the holographic with FMJ or the silencer via bling, although this does tie up your first perk slot. The fast reload of the M16A4 means that sleight of hand, while still beneficial, isn't critical to this weapon. Sleight of hand suits aggressive tactics, firing from a mobile position, something that the burst weapons tend not to suit so well. Scavenger then can be a great alternative, particularly when paired with claymores, as you'll be able to hold down a location with 2 entrances and have sufficient ammunition with Scavenger Pro to last for quite a while. Bling is also a viable route with the M16. The holographic paired with either FMJ or the silencer can be quite effective in the right hands. You do run the risk of running out of ammunition, but the burst fire weapons are reasonably economical, so 3 magazines worth should see you until you're able to pick up another weapon. For your red perk, stopping power should always be your first consideration for the burst weapons. Without it, a 1 burst kill at long range is impossible, and when equipped will grant 1 burst kills at close range, even if only 2 of 3 shots connect. You can run an alternative, but you'll find that all too often you require 2 bursts to put someone down, putting you at a disadvantage over someone using an automatic weapon. For your third perk, it will come down to your preferred style of play. Ninja Pro is, as ever, probably the best all-round perk in this category, as it will almost completely mask your acoustic signature. Even if you're not particularly mobile, it will still allow you to outmaneuver an enemy without giving away your position. Otherwise, steady aim will bolster your close-range effectiveness through more effective hip firing, something which may save your life should you have insufficient time to raise your weapon to aim. If you can anticipate such a close-range encounter though, it may be best to rely on a close-range secondary, and the shotguns are ideal for this purpose. Which shotgun you choose comes down to your own personal preference. You could choose the power and range of the Spaz 12, or the volume of fire possible with the AA-12 and extended mags. For me, the best balance of handling in a shotgun secondary was found in the M1014. Reliable one-hit kills at most ranges, and quick follow-up shots should you miss. Using cover effectively is vital to success with the M16. If you're caught in the open, you'll struggle to get an accurate burst on target. Firing from cover makes you a more difficult target to hit, which can give you crucial time to line up a burst and secure a kill. That's not to say you have to stay in one spot for the entirety of a game. While this can be an effective tactic in some game modes, moving position will allow you to retain a certain degree of surprise. Avoid tight corridors and stick to areas where you can take cover if necessary. Ideally, you want to force engagement at middle distance, while you'll be less vulnerable to weapons suited for close quarters. The M16 handles well, and when fired accurately will down enemies more quickly than most other assault rifles. It doesn't fare well at close range, but if you position yourself well and defend entrances with claymores, you can often fend off even the most stubborn assailants. With a shotgun secondary, a good position, and the prior warning that the claymores will provide, your defences will prove tough to break. The M16A4 is a weapon that requires first shot accuracy to be effective, so if you're careful enough to control the engagement and fire from cover, your foe won't stand a chance against a well-placed burst. Thanks for watching. This has been Xbox Ahoy. Join me next time when I'll be covering the final shotgun, the Model 1887. Farewell for now.